Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com.
Oh my these words have been spoken by my master.
Welcome to Celebrate Life on Shabbat Shalom. It is our days of preparation, day 14. One more day to go, and we're on Celebrate Life where we're getting ready for the proposal from the King. So as we move forward today, we are going to be looking at the Jewish perspective of the whole issue of getting ready for the betrothal. Oh my goodness. And so we're going to be looking at, getting ready for a proposal for marriage and from a Jewish perspective. And we're also going to be using that to parallel how we not just get ourselves ready for the King of Kings, but how we can use it in our plans to get ready for a earthly proposal. Because, as it is in the spiritual, so it is in the natural. And so we have to use always spiritual principles to get us ready for the things in the natural. Because remember, everything happens in the spiritual, and then it comes down through the psychological into the physical realm. And that is when we actually see and feel and are able to be a part of it. So, today we are on day 14 of our days of preparation. And as usual, we're going to go through the rules of Celebrate Life. And the first one is know where you're going. Rule number 1, know your driver. Rule number 2, 3 is pay as you enter. And 4 is celebrate the ride. And it is so important for us to understand that we cannot celebrate the ride unless we are ready. Because if we don't do steps number 1, 2, and 3, then we won't be ready to do step number 4. In fact, we cannot celebrate and enjoy the ride unless we have done the first 3 steps. So let's look at the first 3 steps. And we're going to start by the first one. Where are we going? We are preparing ourselves to be ready for marriage. Marriage to the King of Kings as a bride of Christ, or marriage on a physical level. As I was doing my preparation for this, I looked at so many views on marriage. And I just wanted to share 2, which I found were very significant. And these are the 2 views on marriage. 1, first, this is from some males, M-A-L-E-S, as in man. Right, okay. Why buy the whole cow when you can get the milk for free? I'm sure you've all heard that. And it is a concept that, why should you make this contract of marriage when you can get the produce or some of the benefits of owning a cow without actually buying the cow? In fact, you can steal the milk. And a lot of people are into stealing the milk instead of buying the cow to get the milk. And so they use it as a concept of of staying out of marriage and not wanting to go there and to make the commitment and do the contract and stuff like that. Trying this new hairstyle, I'm not sure if I like it at all. But anyway, I'm going to live with it until the end of the program at least. So here we have that particular view, which is very often by males. You don't sort of find that view from females at all. So it's not a view that is corroborated by the study that we're going to do, which is from the Jewish perspective, nor is it corroborated from this book, because this book has all the great views about how to be successful, and we're going to go through a lot of those while we are on this program today. So the other day I was looking through again and I found this view, and this was a view from some more accomplished ladies who had made their way in the world, and ladies who had, oops, my eyes are watering. I wonder if I could get the fan adjusted, please, so that it's blowing right in my eyes. So we need to get the fan adjusted. This view is from the males, from the females in the situation, because we find that a lot of women now are so self-sufficient, they feel they don't need a man. And, you know, sometimes they think that the marriage situation is not one where they are benefiting. They feel like they're not recipients of the best of everything. And so I heard this one from the lady. She says she moved from the animal of the cow, and she decided to use another animal, one that is not so clean, the pig. Why buy a whole pig just to get a little sausage? These thoughts show the essence of many attitudes towards marriage. This man's objective is gratifying. This is a man who wanted the free milk and never wanted to marry a cow. This man's objective is the gratifying of his desire for fulfillment, a basic need of his ego, satisfying of his ego. My want, my wife, and everything about his new possession that really enhances his sense of self, his accomplishments, his attainments, his prowess, the thing that makes him a man. You know, a lot of times this is what happens when it comes to the males. But one of the things is that the female, on the other hand, has a very similar view. You know, but from a totally different perspective. You know, if she honors and respects him, cares for him and his offspring, his home and his other possessions, and is responsible for the domestic side of things, like his food, his clothing, and if possible, his shelter and the care thereof. Now, this is how a lot of males view a wife or a partner. Okay, one way. On the other hand, this particular woman who did not think it was necessary to buy the whole pig just to get a little sausage, she recognizes that in exchange for having to put up with living with a pig, its growth, its insensitivity, its lack of finesse, and the constant cleaning of the sty is definitely not fair exchange for a little sausage. Clearly, the above attitudes, however widespread, are a far cry from the purpose and intention of this wonderful institute of marriage. For that is indeed what it is, an institute, an advanced training program that is meant to develop and to support the best in each other as we learn to lovingly appreciate, embrace, and celebrate the differences. The differences that are meant to supply what I lack. And for those things that I cannot get vicariously, but need to develop, I just work at developing them. The interaction with my spouse will definitely provide ample opportunity to learn the things that I need to be. And so I have unprecedented power to make those changes and adjustments, to come to the place where I develop into be the person I need to be, to attract and sustain a happy, healthy relationship. Now I had to read that because it was so succinct in communicating exactly what I got as a download. Remember, yesterday we were talking about downloads, right? So I need to become the person I need to be able to attract and sustain a happy, healthy relationship. And this is not just about marriage. It is about any relationship, because the relationship is an exchange. And if we are going to exchange what we have with what the other person has to offer, then we need to develop those characteristics so that we have something to offer. Because, you know, a lot of people think that marriage is an exchange where you exchange the bad of the other person for the good of you. It's an exchange where you exchange the good of you for the good of them. And so you learn from, embrace, and let it be a part of your total growth. Because indeed it is an institute. I said about it being an institute. That means that it's an institution of training, what we call real education, that comes out of the incidences of our lifestyle, where we learn from every interaction that we have, and also where we grow through these interactions. So it's not a matter of learning up here, but it's a matter of making those adjustments that we need to make in order to grow and become who we were created to be. Because, you know, we were not created with everything that we need. We were created to be part of a group, a community, a family, and each one supplies different aspects of our lifestyles and the things that we absolutely need in order to make our transition what it should be. Okay, so celebrating the differences. You know, we did a program on that. I don't know if you remember it at all, but we are going to go forward. And I have passed my break time, so come back.
Oh my.
to look at the issue of the days of preparation, getting ready for the proposal. And we looked at some views, about marriage. One of those views is that if you can get the goods for free, why buy the whole animal? In the case of the male, he thinks that he doesn't need to buy the cow just to get a little milk, if he can get the milk free. In the case of the female, she thinks that she does not have to buy the pig in order to get a little sausage. So one of the things is that we need to look at what are we exchanging and what do we want out of the marriage relationship. Because if all we want is a little milk for the man and a little sausage for the lady, then you really don't need to get married. Because that alone cannot satisfy you. We need to look at the thing in a holistic way. How are we going to get this holistic view? From the operations manual. If you don't know how the thing operates or supposed to operate, how on earth are you going to even turn it on? You can't turn it on. You need to know which button to turn it on. You need to know how to get it to run fast or run slow. It's like a washing machine, or a dishwasher, or whatever, a polisher. What sort of machines do people use nowadays? It's not like a microwave, because that is not a machine. That is a monstrosity. So we're talking about things that are created by the master creator with all the instructions here. Things that have life, not things that are here to give death. Right? So that is so very important to identify and release so that I can evolve beyond those patterns and become the real me. Now, I look at several aspects of helping me to recognize myself. One of the things I found in marriage is that everything I was deficient in, my husband had abundance in it. It has always worked that way. Anything I was not good at, he was good at it. You see, like how I could not find a more patient man to overcompensate for my impatience. I couldn't find somebody who is more, calm and cool about issues that happen, non-reactionary. And it was that he was non-reactionary, just that he reacted without becoming agitated. Let's just put it that way. Reacted without becoming agitated. So whatever was the issue, the interaction was always balanced, because I always swung to this side and he always swung to that side. And I appreciated and embraced the difference, because I realized it was supplying something that I did not have. So this is how we need to look at that. So the number one source of preventing myself from creating and just relying on what I wanted wakes me up to the reason and causes of my disappointment without blaming and shaming myself. We're looking at how the Holy Spirit keeps us online here. He wakes me up to the reasons and causes of my disappointment without blaming and shaming me. Making conscious my efforts at constantly sabotaging my chances at loving relationships. Now, one of the things I'm looking at here are the blockages that we all have to these relationships. Our expectations are that It is supposed to come to bring us something. And so we have certain blocks. I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, and I don't want this. On the other hand, we have the opportunity of using it as a catalyst for the development of those things that we want to see in ourselves. So we have to identify the patterns and make decisions that is not the route that we want to take. So what I wanted to do, and I'm going to do that in the third segment, but before I get there, I want to look at know who your driver is. The first segment was know where you're going. The second segment is know who your driver is. And so we need to look at the purpose, the sanctity of marriage. And so if you do not understand the purpose of a thing, you are going to abuse it. If you don't understand that a broom is not a screwdriver, it is a broom, so you use it to sweep. Now if you use the broom to try and open screws, first of all, it won't work, and secondly, it will only mash up the broom, because the poor broom who wants to go on a smooth, flat surface is now going to be faced with all of these little indentations and screws and what have you. You got the picture? If you do not know the purpose of a thing, you will abuse it. What is the purpose of marriage? Whoa! It has so many things. First of all, I think it is to counteract loneliness. It is to complete a person, and this is why the person has to be different. So they have to supply what is different from you. So this is a loneliness. So you have company all the time. You know, it's great to have things. You know, the other night I wanted to go to this play, and I said, oh Lord, send somebody. I want to do this play, but I'm not going alone. I need company. And pops, he sent somebody. Yes, and that was wonderful. And then you want to complete, so that the person needs to be different. You have to have things in common, but they need to be different so that he can supply what each joint needs to supply in a whole. Then there is the issue of procreation, right? You have to have children. So no, you know, you can't do Steve and Dave, right? You have to do male and female, right? So that you can have children, okay? So you don't have to do all this artificial insemination as some of my gay friends are doing, you know. Some of my lesbian friends, they have that done so that they can have children. But, you know, all of that is a, you know, abomination, right? So, moving right along, I hope I'll still be out here after my commentary. There, it's all about what this has to say, right? It has to do with once a vow is taken, it's so important to understand the changes that take place. Because if you make a vow and you didn't intend to keep the vow, you have made the vow. So it changes a lot of stuff. Even if you weren't totally enamored with the idea of getting there, having made the vow, it makes such a difference. You know, one of the things that always engages me, persons who start off in a marriage on a bad footing for whatever reason, and I'm not going to go into the reasons, and did not want to continue it. Any one of those couples who decide to make what we call a commitment to working at this are going to have the production of a promise. And I'm going to explain that. If you are in any kind of relationship and you have made a commitment to this relationship, and you decide that you're going to continue the relationship and work at it, you're going to get the fulfillment of a promise, right? Because whatever promises you made as the commitment, as in the marriage vows, you shall have them actualize in your situation because you've made a commitment. And so it can be a very pleasurable place to be, because what I found, I study marriages all in the Bible. And one of the things that very often engage me and I'm very interested in is all these multiple marriages in the Word. And if you look and compare all the purposes for the different, every marriage is for a purpose, right? All the different marriages, for instance, of Abraham, and all the different purposes that fulfilled. I was looking once at the marriages of Jacob, and how he loved Rachel and worked for her 7 years, and then got Leah. Oh my gosh, what a thing to forget Leah. Oh my goodness, he didn't like her, he was interested in her, but he fulfilled his responsibility towards her as a husband. And I'm here to tell you, at the end of his life, his request was, bury me with Leah. Rachel predeceased him, Leah predeceased him, and I think he got married again. He didn't want to be buried with Rachel, who was the love of his life, who bore him his 2 favorite sons. Well, at the time they were his favorite son, but guess who Leah bore him? She was the mother of Judah. And who was Judah? This was a tribe that the promise came from, i.e. Jesus. So we need to understand that even though they had all of these challenges during the lifetime, he came to respect, love, and be committed to Leah. And that's where he wanted to be buried. Because Leah was the mother who bore the promise. The promised one was going to redeem the whole world. So nobody look at these marriages that are challenged and problematic and think that, oh my goodness, I want to get out of this. It's an opportunity to grow and to learn and to become a carrier of the promise. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back in the next segment. So come back.
Oh my master, they will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
So keep it tuned to reggae2reggae.com. And we'll have more for you. Keep it locked.
Oh my these words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass.
of days of preparation, 40 minutes. Shalom, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shalom. Right? And we are looking at this very, very special day when we need to stop and consider. We need to look back. We need to enjoy the day. What are we to do on Shabbat? It is supposed to be a day when we have no work. Right? But it's a day when we have rest and enjoyment and reflection and interaction and fellowship and just a wonderful time of just closeting ourselves with our Creator, God, and also just enjoying all of His creation. And remember, His creation is everything that is around, including the people and things and the all that He has given us, even the creative spirit that He has given us as individuals, to be able to enjoy all of this life, the abundant life that He has given us. Right? We need to embrace it and enjoy it. And Shabbat is just it is my favorite day of the week. And so I guess I just learned to really revel in it. And I don't care what's going on. I enjoy my favorite day. It's a day when you're just about exchanging God's goodness with each other. And it doesn't matter what you choose to do, as directed by the Spirit of God. And there's nothing that you cannot do on a Sabbath. There are things that you should not plan to do, but nothing that you cannot do. Let it not be a time of restriction, but let it be a time of freedom and just allowing us to enjoy the goodness of God. That's really it. So we're looking at marriage today, and we looked at some views towards marriage, both the cow and the milk, the pig and the sausage. And then we looked at some of the purposes for marriage. You know, having children, having companionship, learning from each other, growing through our interrelationships with each other. But most importantly, do you know what it is about? About being a carrier of the promise, getting us ready for the promise. And in the case of Jacob and Leah, Leah brought forth the promise, and at the end of Jacob's life, he says, "Bury me with Leah." Can you imagine? That after all of this, he wanted to be buried with Leah, the one who was tender-eyed, the one who he was so angry at having been tricked into marrying. But guess what? It doesn't matter how it comes about. You need to remember that when you make a commitment, however it is made, even after trickery, and you stick to it, your Creator will give you the ability to carry through with grace. So a lot of people try and change. I know so many persons who have divorced their partners because they feel that they did not have full disclosure, and they say any marriage based on deceit is not a real marriage. I am here to tell you that I don't know any marriage that is not based on a deceit. Because when a man is courting, he is going to put his best foot forward and, conceal the worst things about him because he hopes to change. And I'm here to tell you, when a woman is intent on finding a man, you're not going to see her bad parts at all. So know that. So this is why my prescription for trying to find a man or a partner is to not look forward. I am telling you. That's why I got married both times. I just I'm not interested in no marriage, not at all. I just want you to be my friend. And I'm here to tell you, on both occasions, because you are being your real self and exposing your real self, then both parties know exactly what they are, and they learn to appreciate each other for who they are long before there is any intimacy or long before there is any idea of having this relationship become a marriage. So this is one of the hints that I'm giving you. If you want to have a successful marriage every time, then make sure that this person becomes your friend. And you're not interested in marriage initially. You want to get married? Don't look for marriage. Best way to get it. So here we are looking at not just the intent for marriage, but we're looking at what do we need to do. Prepare ourselves to be the sort of person that we would like to marry. The characteristics that we would like to have and see in others. And not only prepare yourself to have those characteristics, and it doesn't mean that you want to work it out the same way. For instance, things like integrity, things like honesty, things like having a positive outlook, things like knowing the Word of God, things like being faithful, things like believing what God says. You know, all of those are characteristics that we need to develop. Because whether we marry or we don't get married, it will serve us in good stead. It will serve us to be able to embrace our lives in order to be comfortable and be happy with who we are, whether we're married or not married, you know. And so engaging in the pursuit of becoming who we were created to be is really where we need to pay as you enter. We need to just put all our eggs in that basket. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you have to do this, you have to go here, you have to do this to get married. You have to do one thing. Seek first. Seek first. If it is that your creator, who created you, who created the other party, who created marriage, says that you have to seek first the kingdom, and he will now adjust and add this marriage desires of your heart to you. Who is it that could possibly tell you that there are other routes to get in there? Routes like, you know, you have to go to certain places, you know, to network, because let people know what you have and what you can do. He says get involved in the building of the kingdom. That's how you must get involved. That's how I got married every time. I was all over the place doing evangelism here, showing film show on the street side, and doing this and doing that. And then other persons notice, I think I would like to get involved in doing this sort of thing with somebody else. And that is how we really meet our soulmate. Now, in the next 30 days, we are going to be looking up after tomorrow, after Sunday. We are going to be looking at almost 30 days of how we really get prepared for a proposal, becoming those things, and it's going to be exciting. So, I want to just look as we go through this section at the steps in actually looking at the Jewish marriage, because that sort of gives us a very, very clear picture of how the whole thing goes. And I'm just going to give you the steps going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then in the last segment, then we will look at them in a little more detail. 1. First of all, the Bible is our best wedding album. We have pictures of all the different steps towards actually choosing a bride, etc. Step number 1, choosing the bride. The bride is especially chosen, and the father of the groom oversees it. Remember, the father of the groom sends his servant to go and get a bride for his son. So it's the father of the groom that oversees it. And Abraham actually chose Rebecca for Isaac, right? And as a result, that's how it has to start. You need to get some sort of a covering involved. Secondly, the bride price. They have to agree on how much they're going to exchange. Meaning, what are you going to provide for the bride? It's not that the bride is being bought. It is that if you are taking this person out of the comfort and support of their parent, what are you going to prepare to provide? So you arrange that long beforehand, and then you can go away and go get it, right? Not a quick thing, this, right? 3, then you have the betrothal, right? This document, they call it the ketubah in the original Hebrew, but it was presented to the bride's family. It was stating how the groom is going to provide for the bride. That's what it's all about. And then the 4th step is the consent of the bride. I bet you never knew that. The bride has to consent. You remember in both the biblical ones that are very popular, the one about Isaac and the other one about Jacob, Esau, right? Jacob. Then you found where she had to consent. She had to, because she knows how the runnings go. You know, she has to decide if this is who she wants to get involved in, because it wasn't the actual person. You know, so it's not a matter of what you see with your eyes, but the whole presentation of the person through their emissary or servant. That is how the decision was made, please. So the bride has to consent or the wedding cannot go on. Okay. So the next segment is the cup. Both of them, the bride and the groom, have to share a cup together to seal the deal. And then we have gifts for the bride. The groom would leave the bride a gift to remember him by, because he's gone to Novo to prepare the place that they're going to stay. And that gift is a sort of a seal the deal, in that you need to remember that here it is now, you have been spoken for, and so you can't go on and entertain nobody else now. Okay, so that's what the gift is all about. Then you have the baptism. The bride would have to have a ritual immersion prior to the actual marriage. And then you have the bridegroom departing, and he leaves the bride and goes to his father's house to prepare a room. It's usually a place where they're going to consummate this marriage. And then during that time, the bride consecrates herself. She separates herself from any other relationships, you know, and of course the Song of Solomon tells us a lot about that. The bride is not to stray while the groom is away, right? And then the groom returns, usually at midnight, believe you me, that's when the groom usually returns in the Jewish tradition, right? And he doesn't come quietly, he comes with a whole heap of fanfare and trumpets, right? Because usually, you know the story of the foolish and the other virgins, where they are wondering, oh my goodness, what happened here? And oops, time to go. One more break here. And I am so excited about this, I almost went over time. So come back.
Oh my.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Oh my.
And so I just finished my carrot juice. It was carrot juice today. And we are looking at different steps in the Jewish marriage because we are in our days of preparation and we are at day 14. And we are looking at all the different views about marriage and some of the purposes of marriage and the reason why we need to look at the biblical mandate if we want to have a successful marriage. It's not about who the other party is going to be or become. It is about who you need to become before you engage in the marriage. What all the purposes are for the different challenges that we face in life is to make us become the person that we need to be to interact successfully in a marriage situation. All right? So we're looking at that. So we looked at all the different steps in the Jewish marriage, and we looked at the ancient Jewish wedding where we had the choosing of the bride, and then the bride price, and then the betrothal, and then the bride has to consent. And then we looked at the groom. No, we never got there yet. Oh, the cup. And then the gifts for the bride, and then the baptism, and then the bridegroom departs, and then the bride is consecrated because she has now got to keep herself free for the bridegroom, meaning no more other commitments to anybody else. And then the groom returns, usually at midnight, with a lot of trumpets and fanfare. It's not a private return. This is how the groom returns in the Jewish lifestyle. And then, you know, there's one thing that really hits me when I look at this, and it's about the fact that they are going to be one. And it's the same word used in the Shema, which means that the Lord thy God is one. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. But this means one in unity. It is also used when the man and the woman becomes one. So it's like how the egg becomes one. The egg is one, but it has a yolk and a white, you know, whatever. And the next thing is the room. Remember that he went away to prepare a place for her to consummate the marriage, right? And that is what is going to happen when we get ready for the marriage and the proposal of the king, because he's gone away and he's got to prepare that place where we're going to consummate the marriage. It's going to start with the marriage supper. Anyway, that is for next week and next month. So we haven't finished with this parallel for the Jewish wedding. After that, the groom and the bride would consummate the marriage in the room. They would spend 7 days together in the room. 7 days. Wow. And then they would have the marriage feast, the celebration and the feast to celebrate the marriage. And there's music and dancing and food and all sorts of stuff. You know, the Eastern cultures, and it is not just Eastern, because I have a nephew who got married to an Ethiopian, and we went to the wedding, and it was days going on. We had the Christian part, and then we had, oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. And then we had the ethnic part, and then we had all the different offerings and, you know, the part that the parents played and friends played and everybody. Oh, and then I had another friend who was Indian and had the whole traditional wedding again, a whole week. And we had the Christian part and we had the other part. And you know, one of the things I really appreciated about those is that we need to maintain and retain our ethnicity and our national and cultural differences when we embrace Christianity. We can't just say, okay, along with Christianity, we are going to embrace the culture of whoever evangelized us. Please, I am still who I am. as a Christian. And we need to be able to understand and celebrate our cultural differences, because it is only as we do that that we can really enjoy the process of just living, the journey of life. For me, it has been so exciting as I have just come a little past halfway mark at 64, as I approach 65. I think I've gone over about 5 years from the halfway mark. So as I look forward to at least another 50 years, I need to put in place those things that will help me to enjoy the rest of the ride. Okay, so anybody coming along with me, make sure you're healthy, you're wealthy, and you're using your time for the advancement of the kingdom of God. That is it. Farming up for long life and good health, for vision and everything. Right. So, we have the marriage feast, the celebration, and the feasting as we do the marriage supper of the Lamb. Right. So, we need to invite as many people as we can to be a part of this big celebration. And that's what evangelism is all about. That's what telling other persons and so enjoying your part, your journey, so that others say, boy, I don't love living my life like that. I would love to live my life like that. And this can only be possible when we embrace every interaction, every occasion, every issue, every challenge, every difference, so that we can recognize its contribution to making us whole and to making us happy. Because I'm here to tell you, the essence of abundant life is not money or things. It is the experiences and the exposure to all the joys and sorrows of life, so that we can overcome them, so that we can put them in their real perspective, so that we can learn and grow from them, so that we can really embrace and enjoy all the parts, the good parts and the bad parts, because the bad parts are the best growing experiences, the best, and it's through what we consider to be the negative experiences of life that we grow by leaps and bounds. You don't grow by leaps and bounds without a challenge, because if you do not have a challenge, how do you develop the ability to push through? How do you develop the ability to come up with ideas to get over and around and through and above those challenges that you face? So it's important to embrace them when they come. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, because they are there to work out patience and growth and goodness. I love it, right? So join me along the way, man, because I don't see why we should grin and bear it as we go along. Grinning and bearing is a choice. It's a choice that we all have to make. Or that we, no, not have to make. It's a choice that we all make. Because you cannot not make a choice. Once you're alive, just like once there's life, there's hope. Once there's life, there's choice. And guess what? You make choices every day, whether they are made passively or actively. If you say do nothing, you have made a choice to do nothing, right? So we need to understand that we are always making choices and we are always responding and reacting to whatever is happening around us, even if it is a passive choice. So, analysis of the facts is a very, very important way to approach whatever is there, whatever is happening, whatever has happened, whatever is going to happen, recognizing that it can all work together for our good if we have the right attitude. And I want to invite you and remind you of an upcoming program that we're having calling The Way Forward for Jamaica. It's going to be night talk, and we're going to be looking at different ways of how we can advance as a country, as a people, as we were created to advance. So keep tuned, and we will soon have something for you so that you can be a part of this great movement, this great exchange which is coming on the world. Let me tell you something. Every time there is more and more potential stress in any situation, it increases the potential for growth, for advancement, for knowledge, and for opportunities. So I want to encourage you all to grasp, embrace these opportunities that face us, even as we look at the challenges that face us. But let us remember that the hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory. So it is ta-ta from celebratinglife.me on Shabbat Shalom, our day 40 of preparation. And join us tomorrow when it's the Lord's Day, and we will be ready and going ahead wonderfully for day number 50, the last day of preparation, until we launch into the days of the King's proposal. So, see you tomorrow, same time, same place, as we look at the last day of preparation for the proposal of the King. Bye-bye. Until the Lord's Day.
Oh my, these words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.